Hey, it's Benjie Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me directly through Benjie at alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is an internationally syndicated show because of viewers like you. We're available across all major podcast distributors, and people, I mean it when I say it, we would not be here without you, and it doesn't get missed that is the case, all right? Please continue to show that support. We are truly indebted to you because of it, and if you continue to follow, we're gonna continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in because we are thoroughly looking forward to showcasing this next guest on our network. And on the line with us today, we have the impressive Kimberlie Smith. Now, a lot of you may remember Kimberlie when she was on our network previously. Well, we had such a great time, it was a no-brainer. We had to invite her back. This time, we're discussing her impressive book, Unicorn Princess and Her Birthday Cake. I'm telling you, this is one that you are thoroughly going to enjoy, similar to the last one. Before we go any further though, it's available for purchase through Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, all the regular online book resellers. Check it out, but make sure you check out our personal website to gather everything that she has in store, and that's foraparentsheartbeat.com. There, you're going to find more information on Kimberlie herself, more information on not only this title, but the 7 others that she has written as well. You're also going to find the hyperlink set up to take you to the purchasing pages. So one more time, that's foraparentsheartbeat.com. Kimberlie was brought to our network, People of Distinction, today by one of the best publishers in the business, Quantum Discovery. So for my writers out there who have gone through their process, creating your masterpiece, and now you've done it, okay? You need help moving the book that you just finished developing though. Contact Quantum Discovery, people. They're one of the best in the business to do it, and this is exactly what they specialize in. So head on over to quantumdiscovery.net and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is gonna help you do just that. And people, listen, it is truly a pleasure to have Kimberlie back here on the line with us. Now, previously when she was here, we discussed her book, Why Vanilla Ice Cream is My Favorite. And we had such a great time, man. It really was a delight to have her. Now we're talking about her Unicorn Princess, and that Unicorn Princess's birthday cake, okay? This is such a fun journey that your children are going to love embarking upon, and it's filled with great messages underneath it that you as parents are gonna love sharing with them, all right? It's truly a magnificent little fairy tale about a unicorn princess who finds help and friends in the most unlikely of places. Sit back and strap in, and I promise you by the time we've concluded, you're gonna run to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, foraparentsheartbeat.com and purchase your copies. Kimberlie, first and foremost, welcome back to People of Distinction, and thank you very much again for being a guest. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, listen, it really is a delight. And we really are looking forward to this, Kimberlie. We had such a great time talking with you last time. Your books are magnificent because it offers the perfect balance of education while just having a fun-filled story to embark upon. Before we go into your book, Kimberlie, for those of our listening audience members who happen to miss the previous time you were with us, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background, please.
Sure, no problem. When I was younger, my family traveled for my father's job, and during the traveling, I would have my nose in a book, reading, and then progress to writing short stories and different things that happened on this journeys that we were on. And then I also had come into these books that were really fascinating at the time that really hooked me for wanting to be a writer. They were interactive books that with each chapter or each page, you could choose the ending or the next journey for the character. And then you would change to that particular chapter or page that it was instructing you to. You can read the book multiple times and have a different outcome each time. And I just thought that was a great way to hook a reader and engage the reader as well. And I think that's what really started my love of writing, is wanting to engage with my readers.
Mm-hmm. Kimberlie, thank you very much for that fantastic piece of information. And listen, I'm going to stick here for a second because you've already started to go into inspiration, right? So we know about what inspired you to even embark upon a creative writing journey. Well, I'm curious, what inspired you to write this particular book about this phenomenal unicorn princess?
That would have been my daughter. She was in the age of everything unicorn. She was also coming up to a birthday and wanted it themed as unicorn. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was a great opportunity for writing something that she was interested in and just loving, and as well as other kids her age would love. Who doesn't love a unicorn and a princess? Combine them together with a birthday cake, it's a no-brainer.
It's a win-win. It is a win-win. Listen, quick side note, my daughter is obsessed with mermaids right now. It is mermaid everything, Ariel everything. And this is just kind of the phase that she's in. So I get it, right? My wife and I are already thinking about Halloween and okay, we're going to get our mermaid costume because that's obviously where she's going. So this is something fantastic, absolutely relatable right there with you. Now, as we continue transitioning here, we know about the inspiration. Now let's hear about the narrative itself. Again, the fantastic book is called Unicorn Princess and Her Birthday Cake. Tell us a little bit more about the words on those pages.
The Unicorn Princess is throwing herself a birthday party and realizes that she is missing a special ingredient for her cake and has to travel to town to obtain that special ingredient. Mm-hmm. And in her travel to town, she has to go through some spooky forest, and in the process of traveling, she meets several different characters that help her along the way in her journey so that it's not so scary. And in the end, she becomes friends with these characters and join her in her birthday celebration.
What I love so much about your books, really all of your books, Kimberlie, is they always carry a lot of entertainment, right? A lot of joy. It's very imaginative, but it also balances beautifully, like I mentioned before, the educational aspect. So I'm curious with regards to this book, Unicorn Princess, what are some of the lessons to be learned within the book? And why did you feel that it was important to have children learn them?
The lesson that I really wanted as the undertone of the story was, we're going to go through some dark times in our life. It doesn't matter what age we are. We're going to have some trials and tribulations. Mm-hmm. And we will need people to help guide us through them or just be with us as companions, just to help us along for moral support. In any case, though, we're always going to need somebody, and it's okay to ask for help to get through those dark times.
Yeah. Kimberlie, that's a great point that you bring up and a wonderful segue that I want to touch up on next. In what ways do you think fantasy novels or fictional novels can help children process real life situations?
Kids are really, really intuitive and they're smart. So even if the lesson is hidden in between the lines, per se, mm-hmm. they still get the undertone. They still understand, for instance, all these different characters, they're different characters, just like everybody that they will come in contact with, whether that's church or school or neighbors or their community. Everybody's different, just like the characters in the book are different. And in every way, they're still helping the Unicorn Princess through the trials and tribulations and mm-hmm. the scary time. And they're going to pick up on that. They're going to understand that these characters are different and they're still helping.
Yeah. People, I'm telling you, you got to pick up copies of this fantastic book. Again, it's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's foraparentsheartbeat.com. Pick up copies of this amazing narrative, Unicorn Princess and Her Birthday Cake. Last time we had the pleasure and the delight to speak with her. We talked about her book, Why Vanilla Ice Cream is My Favorite. But remember, there's 8 titles altogether. So aside from these 2, there's 6 other ones that you're going to want to sink your teeth into. And I promise you, each and every one of them are going to be just as educational and just as impactful for your children to embark upon. You know, continuing on here, Kimberlie, I'm curious, amongst the 8 titles that you have comprised, hopefully many more on the horizon, but amongst your titles, is there a fingerprint or an overarching theme, a through line that you hope to establish and connect with all of them?
Sure, absolutely. I think every book that I write has a theme to help them, whether it's understanding their grandparents' cancer, whether it is trying to figure out how to go through a scary time. And it's more or less just the helping. I feel like, I want to instill in my readers that we need to be loving, caring, helpful beings to other people.
Kimberlie, transitioning forward here now, you got 7 other titles. Well, technically 6 if we already count Why Vanilla Ice Cream is My Favorite, since we discussed that one last time. You got 6 other titles. I'm all ears, my listening audience. We are here for it. Pick another one, dealer's choice. Talk to us a little bit more about another one of your titles, the education to be received, and why you feel that that one is important for children to know.
Sure. I would have to say my series, Mommy, What is Cancer? Grandpa, for starters. It dives into a age-appropriate way of handling or explaining cancer, the change that maybe Grandpa's going through, so that the lower level elementary kids can understand why their grandpa is sick, the medicines that they are additionally taking, the weakness and fatigue that grandpa might be having. It all explains that in an age-appropriate way so that they can understand.
Kimberlie, thank you very much for going there. People, chances are you listening in right now have either received a cancer diagnosis or will receive a cancer diagnosis in your lifetime. I can't remember exactly, but I believe the National Cancer Institute had it as high as about 40% of all individuals will receive a cancer diagnosis in their lifetime. Almost half of us all will receive that. With statistics being that high and that alarming, shouldn't we be prepared? Shouldn't we be prepared to have these conversations amongst ourselves, but also with our children, to prep them for that? And listen, here's the key. Like she stated, in an age-appropriate manner. That is key. These conversations can be had, but you need to manipulate them a bit so that it fits their particular psyche. But we're not doing them any favors by ignoring the conversation. And I get it. Listen, as a parent myself, I try to avoid it at all costs, but I understand that at a certain point, as my child continues to get older, those are discussions that we're going to have. Get ahead of it. Books like this are really going to be key in terms of doing this and having these conversations in a very safe, productive manner. Kimberlie, I'm telling you, you are the absolute embodiment of a person of distinction. You are beyond impressive. I wasn't planning on the conversation going here, but I'm so glad that it did. And people, you see, Previously, again, Why Vanilla Ice Cream was my favorite. Unicorn Princess. These are fun, joyful books with a great educational underneath. Well, these other ones that we just talked about may not be as fun or joyful, but they're just as educational and just as impactful. Kimberlie, as we close out of here, we have discussed so much information here today. Is there anything we haven't yet touched up on, or maybe something we have that you really want to double down and re-impress here for our listening audience?
I think that it's just really important with the children in their early years, and their brains are sponges. They'll pick up on things that we don't even realize that they're picking up on, and their understanding is far more than we give them credit for. So it's very important to give them books that they can that'll challenge their brain and soak in very, very good lessons that you want them to have and grow and become great individuals.
It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's foraparentsheartbeat.com. We just finished discussing her amazing book today, Unicorn Princess and Her Birthday Cake. There is a lot more there to get. Head on over there today, pick up your copies, get lost in all of this. I promise you, your kids are going to thank you, and you're also going to be delighted by the journey that they're going to be taking and the education they're going to be receiving. Kimberlie, this has been a true pleasure, an absolute delight. As the first interview took place, this one followed through in the exact same manner. Truly was an honor. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.